My dear friends, today in Times of India, I have seen a news that is of global importance, and that news is about the global sea level rise. In this news, World Meteorological Organization that is located at Geneva have raised certain doubt and the danger that is going to influence millions of people throughout the globe because of melting ice sheets and thermal expansion of ocean water. So these are the two major causes that is going to raise the level of sea. So according to the news, almost 4.5 mm per year rise have been observed in last decade from 2012 to 22. So according to this rate of increase in the global sea level, there is probability of influence upon 900 million people living in the coastal belt. That's why we have to understand what are the causes behind the global sea level rise and what may be the consequence and what may be the way out, how we can save ourselves. So, first of all, try to understand the global sea. In last lecture, I told you that initially there was Panthalassa, according to Wegener's theory, which got further divided into different oceans, and the major ocean is Pacific, Atlantic, and Indian Ocean, along with so many smaller oceans. So, because of human life, for their livelihood, involve themselves into economic activities like primary activities, secondary activities, and tertiary activities. And in all these activities, water bodies play a significant role in direct or indirect way. You might be aware of hydrological cycle, then nutrient cycling, energy cycle. All these cycles are operating on its own in nature for existence or creation of equilibrium inside the life support system. That life support system, which is basis of the human survival. So I told you about the life support system, that is lithosphere, asthenosphere and hydrosphere. In between there is biosphere. So all those basic things which is essential for the survival of mankind on this planet is being maintained by this life support system. And in that one, so on one hand, human being is surviving over the planet Earth with the help of natural factors. And on the other hand, for their development role, for their development and economic activities, they influence the lithosphere and hydrosphere through mining, industrialization, urbanization, and modernization. All these activities are leading to emission of greenhouse gases, and these greenhouse gases have been trapping the heat inside the planet Earth system, and because of that there is thermal expansion of ocean water. Because of thermal expansion, the sea level is rising. Those areas, polar belt, Arctic and Antarctic belt, Arctic and Antarctic, as well as the Greenland portion, these are the two major belt of ice cap over the earth. So because of these greenhouse gases, the temperature of planet Earth is increasing and these ice caps are gradually melting. So this is the first region I told you, and this is the second region. But if academically you think what could be the causes, if you have to write the causes of global sea rise, then you have to divide it into two parts. First, natural causes, and then another is man-made causes. So in natural causes, you have to think about the earth movement. What are those earth movement which may lead to the global sea level rise? So broadly, earth movement may be endogenetic or aperogenetic. Exogenetic. So those factors which is generated from inside the earth and those factors which is coming from surface of the earth. So endogenetic leads to orogenesis and aperogenesis. And here in exogenetic, we think about the weathering and erosion mechanism. So this orogenesis factor is mountain building movement in which both horizontal and vertical motion of earth takes place, and that may lead to change in the global sea level. Now, just through an example, Just imagine this is the coastal belt, and this is the continental portion. Imagine the continent, and this is the ocean. So this is the topmost portion of the sea, and this is the area of last contact with the land and sea. But if this platform over which both of the continent ocean is existing, so this is the foundation rock, that is the part of lithospheric plate. Now, there exists the probability of vertical rise or vertical fall. So, this is the upliftment or subsidence of this foundation rock of lithospheric plate. So, because of this movement, there may be rise and fall of the sea level. So if this portion of the foundation is rising vertically upward, or through any thrust force it is rising vertically upward, then this sea level may rise up to this point. So this is the portion of the continent which was earlier open, coastal belt. So now it has been encroached upon, and that's why this is called as transgression. So this transgression is simply the encroachment of coastal rock bed due to rise of sea level. So this cause is tectonic. So you can, if anybody asks you what is the exact region, so it is the tectonic cause, because wherever the plate portion is involved, in whichever the movement plate is involved, we use the term tectonic. So this is the tectonic cause. Likewise, there may be subsidence of the portion of the foundation rock, that is lithospheric block. So this is ocean column, and this is the foundation of the lithospheric plate. Now this portion, if because of any reason there may be faulting, there may be subsidence, there may be imbalance, the readjustment of the block. So if this portion is submerging, then accordingly this sea level will also fall down, and then this portion that was earlier so this portion of the coastal block which was earlier under sea is coming in open. So this portion is considered the re-emergent rock bed, and the process is subsidence or submergence. So you understood both the factors, either upliftment or submergence, because of the tectonic movement of the foundation. So both these factors, upliftment and subsidence, have been the tectonic region behind sea level rise. And if because of tectonically influenced factors, global sea level is rising, then we call it a term eustatic change. So eustatic change is the holistic change in the global sea level because of the tectonic forces, tectonic factors of upliftment or submergence. Now, we are coming to the man-made causes. I told you, for the survival of mankind, human being involved in primary, secondary, and tertiary economic activities. So, through all these activities, we intend to create an imbalance in nature. Imbalance in nature through exploitation of natural resources, and we also create variety of pollution. So because of these pollution, greenhouse gases accumulate in the planet system, planet earth system, and because of that temperature rises, and this temperature rise results into melting of glacier. And thermal expansion of water. So because of the thermal expansion, there may be change in the salinity, change in salinity of water, and accordingly the living condition of millions of biota life gets affected. Now, after understanding the causes behind the global sea level, we will think about the consequences of global sea level rise. What could be the consequence? So first consequence will be flooding of coastal belt, second will be loss of land resources, then economic activities like fishing, paddy cultivation in coastal belt, then mining will be affected, will be adversely affected. Then there will be loss of habitat. And because of the loss of habitat, millions of plant and animal species will be affected, and that will further lead to imbalance in coastal ecosystem. So these are the few of the consequences that I have mentioned here. There may be multiple other could be added here. Mangrove ecosystem. Mangrove ecosystem will be affected adversely. Then coral reefs will be affected. So these are the multiple consequences. So now we will after understanding the causes and consequences, you have to think about what is the way out, how we can rectify the situation. Think about what is the way out. So, simply, we have to return back to the basic phrase, and that is we have to think about our need and greed. So, this greed of accumulation of money and wealth, we have to stop. Simply, the need aspect we have to think about, and accordingly, you need to minimize the over exploitation of natural resources. Both biotic and abiotic resource. Once a limit is imposed by mankind, then there will be a balance. Gradually, there will emerge a balance that will further lead to the minimization of these factors of causes. Now, all these general topic understanding may give you some idea about the condition in India. This East Coast belt and West Coast belt are having different geomorphology, different geographical factors. Here is the Bay of Bengal, and here is Arabian Sea. So the economic activities in this belt is quite different from the economic activity in this belt. So this Western Ghat region is highland topography, and this eastern coastal belt is a low level topography having the predominance of deltas of Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, and Kaveri, separated by the smaller patches of hilly topography. So these hilly topographies are having variety of mineral resources. So mining activity, mining, fishing, paddy cultivation, and export-import activities are predominating in the eastern coastal belt. Millions of people are living, deriving their livelihood from the coastal economy. But in this part, the Western Ghat mountain is also having variety of economic minerals, coffee, spices, production. Laterite soil in this belt is suitable for the coffee and laterite coffee and spices production. Various belt in Kolar belt in Karnataka and Ratnagiri area, these are having variety of economic minerals. So mining is also there, production of cash crops are also there. So all these activities and multiple natural harbors are also there. So export import activities are also going on from these belts. So because of sea level rise, both eastern and western coast of India will be affected, and the millions of population living in the coastal belt getting involved in these activities will be affected, and that's why we need to think about in detail. We need to think about the causes behind these dangers, and we need to take a holistic step which can create a balance, and these millions of people who is deriving their livelihood could be saved. It has been reported by World Meteorological Organization that Mumbai city is facing a major danger because the encroachment of sea is fast. In comparison to the last decade, the rise of sea level towards the Mumbai is very fast. So we have to think about, according to a report, Antarctica is losing 150 billion ton of ice mass annually. And Greenland ice cap is losing 270 billion ton of ice every year. So this is the rate you can imagine. This is such a huge rate of melting of ice cap that is really creating a major condition of threat to the world community. That's all for today. Have a nice day.